If you want to be sure that the person introducing you says all fantastic things about you, ask one of your parents to do it. I figured I couldn't go wrong. My dad did say thank you to all of the people that were helping me today, but I want to just send a personal thank you out to two people who support me every single day, sacrifice every single day. And most of you know, but some of you don't, that for 3 years I've had a fiance who has stood beside me, and my youngest son is with me tonight too, Anthony. And wherever you are, there you are, Emil, I see you. And Anthony, I never take the sacrifice and the support you give me for granted, so thank you. But most importantly, a huge thank you to all of you who year after year after year, and some of you are new, but most of you have been here for me for 8 years now, and I thank you so much. But I don't think you're just here for me. I think you're also here because you and I share some common principles and some common values that we're willing to work on year after year together. And these principles, I don't believe are Republican, I don't believe they're Democrat, I don't believe they're independent or Green Party principles. They're just values that if we all believe in and we all act on, we can help save the state of Connecticut. Because I don't know about you guys, but if you read the news, the state of Connecticut needs some saving. Right? I think our government is too big, too intrusive, and too quick to spend your money and my money, and this has to stop. Let's demand that your elected officials, that would be me and anyone else running for office, use some common sense for a change. For example, how about this? Something that we all have done in our families. Let's not spend more than we make. Put simply, this means for your state of Connecticut, no new taxes and no new spending. You probably aren't aware of this, and there's no reason you should be, but government has spent increased spending over 280% in the last 10 years, while our population has stayed about the same. How about let's only borrow what we can actually afford to pay back? The last budget that was passed in the General Assembly borrowed $1.5 billion. Please do not vote for me or for anyone else who will borrow $1.5 billion to pay the bills, because most of us won't have to pay that back. That's little Lena over there or little Sarah over there. Those are the people who are going to pay back the borrowing, the reckless borrowing that's going on today. That's why when I have the opportunity to stand up and say no, it makes me feel good, because I'm not just fighting for all of us adults, but it's all these little kids, it's their future. I also believe if it's not working, get rid of it. Most of you know I'm in property management, and I deal with a lot of people who are disadvantaged and not as well off as they would like to be. I was dealing with a man, one of my tenants the other day, and his sister. The guy needs medicine for his heart. He has no insurance. He and his sister, for 10 days, tried calling this organization that's state-funded. They couldn't even bother to call this guy back. I finally ended up calling them. I was so ripping mad. I said to the executive director, I said, "Are you a state-funded organization?" And she says, "Yes." I said, "Well, you know what? You don't deserve to be." 10 days those people waited for a call back. I say, if it's not working, get rid of it. No more excuses from these people who get state money and they don't do a darn thing with it. I also think that the more the government tries to do, the less it does well. I don't mind paying my taxes, and I don't think you do, when it goes to public education. We owe that to the kids. I don't think you mind paying taxes when it goes to public safety, because we want a police officer to respond when we need them. I don't think you mind paying when it goes to public health. We have to keep our country and our community strong and healthy. But if it's not one of those core areas, and we're spending money for something that has nothing to do with what the core function of government is, we need to say enough is enough. And finally, we should have all the government we need, but only the government we need. This is like the most important principle, because it speaks to the real problem that the state of Connecticut has. Government has become too big, government taxes you too much, and government spends too much money. And I don't know about you, but I think we've had enough, right? I'm pretty sure that we all agree that we need more common sense and less government. This is the message that I will bring to Hartford and the principle that I will not only talk about, but that I will fight for. Hopefully, the 2010 election cycle will set Connecticut on a new path with a new balance of legislators and a new group of leaders who will help Connecticut recover, reform, and reinvent itself. Again, I just want to say thank you to all of you for coming out here tonight. It means a lot to me to see faces looking at me and knowing that when I go to Hartford and I deal with these idiots who really don't know what the state of Connecticut truly wants, I can think about you and say, I might be in the minority, but I know I'm right, right? Well, you guys have all been great and patient. You're sitting so nice and still that I'm going to test you a little bit by just letting a few other candidates who are here tonight say just a couple words to you. Jeff Wright, who is the mayor of Newington, you might know him as the Cash Cop. He's going to have a commercial on. He's running against Denise Napier for treasurer. He drove a long way to be here and to say hello, so I'd like to call him up, Jeff, and let him say a few words to you.